What up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Rising Scripts. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Shalom and welcome back. To Rising Scripts, we're about to see what it is and what it ain't. What we can and what we can't. The do's and the don'ts. We're going to see what Mr. Abram is going down, man. We've been on the book of Jasher. That's where we've been at. The book of Jasher, the ancient book of Jasher, as referenced in Joshua 10:13, 2 Samuel 1:18, and 2 Timothy 3:8. And we made it up to chapter 15 out of 91 chapters. Try to put it up, man. Give it up to the Most High. Give it up to the Most High and show some reverence, show some gratitude, some gratefulness for being able to see, hear, think, feel, smell, breathe, walk and talk and all the different things that we need to succeed. As long as I have breath to breathe and I have all I need to succeed. So you got all you need to succeed too. All you got to do is do it. Succeed at little and work your way up to succeed at big things, mighty things. I wonder if, to me, this kind of sounds like a harp. That's why I was playing it. It makes me think about King David whenever I play it or when I mess with it. But I wonder how the instruments sounded back then for them. But let's go ahead and give up some gratitude. Now we didn't read, we didn't blow the trumpets. Let's read chapters 15, 16, and 17 of the book of Jasher, man. We are always looking for certain things. What are the ways for us to serve the Most High better? And in doing so and trying to find the way to do so, one of the first things that you're going to need to do is read. No matter whatever book you have, no matter whatever God you serve, that God got a book. That God got rules and regulations. So you might as well get your butt up and find out what them rules and regulations is, what your do's and your don'ts is, your cans and your can'ts and your is and your ain'ts, and walk after that manner. Learn what you need to learn. So chapter 15, Abram in Egypt, the famine. Reminds me of, this is the first famine, I guess, the first famine. They had some famines going on back then, man. Pestilence and famine. And in that year, this is chapter 15, verse 1. And in that year, there was a heavy famine throughout the land of Canaan, and the inhabitants of the land could not remain on account of the famine, for it was very grievous. And Abram and all belonging to him rose and went down to Egypt on account of the famine. And when they were at the brook of Mizraim, they remained there some time to rest from the fatigue of the road. And Abram and Sarai were walking at the border of the brook of Mizraim, and Abram beheld his wife Sarai, that she was very beautiful. And Abram said to his wife Sarai, since God has created thee with such beautiful countenance, I am afraid of the Egyptians, lest they should slay me and take thee away. For the fear of God is not in these places. Surely, then thou shalt do this. Say thou art my sister to all that may ask thee, in order that it may be well with me, and that we may live and not be put to death. And Abram commanded the same to all those that came with him to Egypt on account of the famine. Also his nephew Lot he commanded, saying, if the Egyptians ask thee concerning Sarai, say she is the sister of Abram. And yet, with all these orders, Abram did not put confidence in them. But he took Sarai and placed her in a chest and concealed it amongst their vessels. For Abram was greatly concerned about Sarai on account of the wickedness of the Egyptians. And Abram and all belonging to him rose up from the brook Mizraim and came to Egypt. And they had scarcely entered the gates of the city when the guards stood up to them, saying, give tithe to the king from what you have, and then you may come into the town. And Abram and those that were with him did so. And Abram with the people that were with him came to Egypt. And when they came there, they brought the chest in which Sarai was concealed, and the Egyptians saw the chest. And the king's servants approached Abram, saying, what hast thou here in this chest which we have not seen? And now open thou the chest and give tithe to the king of all that it contains. And Abram said, this chest I will not open, but all you demand upon it I will give. And Pharaoh's officers answered Abram, saying, it is a chest of precious stones. Give us the tenth thereof. And Abram said, all that you desire I will give, but you must not open the chest. And the king's officers pressed Abram, and they reached the chest and opened it with force. And they saw and beheld a beautiful woman was in the chest. And when the officer of the king beheld Sarai, they were struck with admiration at her beauty. And all the princes and servants of Pharaoh assembled to see Sarai, for she was very beautiful. And the king's officers ran and told Pharaoh all that they had seen. And they praised Sarai to the king. And Pharaoh ordered her to be brought. And the woman came before the king. Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Welcome. And Pharaoh beheld Sarai, and she pleased him exceedingly, and he was struck with her beauty. The king rejoiced greatly on her account, and made presents to those who brought him the tidings concerning her. And the woman was then brought to Pharaoh's house, and Abram grieved on account of his wife, and he prayed to the Lord to deliver her from the hands of Pharaoh. And Sarai also prayed at that time and said, O Lord God, thou didst tell my Lord Abram to go from his land and from his father's house to the land of Canaan. And thou didst promise to do well with him if he would perform thy commands. Now behold, we have done that which thou didst command us. And we left our land and our families, and we went to the strange land and to a people whom we have not known before. And we came to this land to avoid the famine, and the evil accident has befallen me. Now therefore, O Lord God, deliver us and save us from the hand of this oppressor, and do well with me for the sake of thy mercy. And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Sarai, and the Lord sent an angel to deliver Sarai from the power of Pharaoh. And the king came and sat before And the Lord hearkened to the voice of Sarai, and the Lord sent an angel to deliver Sarai from the power of Pharaoh. And the king came and sat before Sarai, and behold, an angel of the Lord was standing over them. And he appeared to Sarai and said to her, do not fear, for the Lord has heard thy prayer. And the king approached Sarai and said to her, what is that man to thee who brought thee hither? And she said, he is my brother. And the king said, it is incumbent upon us to make him great, to elevate him and to do unto him all the good which thou shalt command us. And at that time the king sent to Abram silver and gold and precious stones in abundance, together with cattle, men servants, and maid servants. And the king ordered Abram to be brought. And he sat in the court of the king's house. And the king greatly exalted Abram on that night. And the king approached to speak to Sarai. And he reached out his hand to touch her when the angel smote him heavily. And he was terrified, and he refrained from reaching to her. And when the king came near to Sarai, the angel smote him to the ground and acted thus to him the whole night, and the king was terrified. And the angel on that night smote heavily all the servants of the king and his whole household, and on account of Sarai. And there was a great lamentation that night amongst the people of Pharaoh's house. And Pharaoh, seeing the evil that befell him, said, surely on account of this woman has this thing happened to me. And he removed himself at some distance from her and spoke pleasing words to her. And the king said to Sarai, tell me, I pray thee, concerning the man with whom thou camest here. And Sarai said, that man is my husband. And I said to thee that he was my brother, for I was afraid lest thou should put him to death through wickedness. And the king kept away from Sarai, and the plague of the angel of the Lord ceased from him and his household. And Pharaoh knew that he was smitten on account of Sarai, and the king was greatly astonished at this. And in the morning the king called to Abram and said to him, what is this thou hast done to me? Why didst thou say she is my sister, owing to which I took her unto me for a wife? And this heavy plague has therefore come upon me and my household. Now therefore, here is thy wife. Take her, go from our land, lest we all die on her account. And Pharaoh took more cattle, men servants, and maid servants, and silver and gold to give to Abram, and he returned to him Sarai his wife. And the king took a maiden whom he begat by his concubines, and he gave her to Sarai for a handmaiden. I wonder if that was Hagar. I wonder if that was Hagar. And the king said to his daughter, it is better for thee, my daughter, to be a handmaid in this man's house than to be a mistress in my house, after we have beheld the evil that befell us on account of this woman. And Abram arose, and he and all belonging to him went away from Egypt. And Pharaoh ordered some of his men to accompany him and all that went with him. And Abram returned to the land of Canaan, to the place where he had made an altar, where he at first had pitched his tent. And Lot, the son of Haran, Abram's brother, had a heavy stock of cattle, flocks, herds, and tents, for the Lord was bountiful to them on account of Abram. And when Abram was dwelling in the land of herdsmen of Lot, the herdsmen of Lot quarreled with the herdsmen of Abram, for their property was too great for them to remain together in the land, and the land could not bear them on account of their cattle. And when Abram's herdsmen went to feed their flock, they would not go into the fields of the people of the land, but the cattle of Lot's herdsmen did otherwise, for they were suffered to feed in the fields of the people of the land. And the people of the land saw this occurrence daily, and they came to Abram and quarreled with him on account of Lot's herdsmen. And Abram said to Lot, what is this thou art doing to me, to make me despicable to the inhabitants of the land, that thou orderest thy herdsmen to feed thy cattle in the fields of other people? Dost thou not know that I am a stranger in this land amongst the children of Canaan? And why wilt thou do this unto me? And Abram quarreled daily with Lot on account of this. But Lot would not listen to Abram, and he continued to do the same. And the inhabitants of the land came and told Abram. And Abram said unto Lot, how long wilt thou be to me for a stumbling block with the inhabitants of the land? Now I beseech thee, let there be no more quarreling between us, for we are kinsmen. But I pray thee, separate from me, Go and choose a place where thou mayest dwell with thy cattle and all belonging to thee. But keep thyself at a distance from me, thou and thy household. And be not afraid in going from me. For if anyone do an injury to thee, let me know, and I will avenge thy cause from him. Only remove from me. And when Abram had spoken all these words to Lot, then Lot arose and lifted up his eyes towards the plain of Jordan. And he saw that the whole of this place was well watered and good for men, as well as affording pasture for the cattle. And Lot went from Abram to the place, and he there pitched his tent, and he dwelt in Sodom, and they were separated from each other. And Abram dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and he pitched his tent there, and Abram remained in that place many years. Chapter 16, Abram against the 5 kings. At that time, Chedorlaomer, king of Elam, sent to all the neighboring kings, to Nimrod, king of Shinar, who was then under his power, and to Tidal, king of Goyim, and to Ariach, king of Eleazar, with whom he had made a covenant, saying, Come up to me and assist me, that we may smite all the towns of Sodom and its inhabitants, for they have rebelled against me these 13 years. And these 4 kings went up with all their camps, about 800,000 men, and they went and as they were, and smote every man they found in the road. And the 5 kings of Sodom and Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, Shemeber, king of Zeboim, Bera, king of Sodom, Bersha, king of Gomorrah, and Bela, king of Zoar, went out to meet them, and they all joined together in the valley of Siddim. Hey, that's some good information right there. If you didn't know what the 5 cities of the 5, when it said that the Most High sent fire and brimstone to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, I believe these are the 5 cities that were destroyed with Sodom and Gomorrah, along with the kings that were with them. So I'm going to mark that down, because I'm going to come back and look that up in the Bible. Shinab, king of Admah. Shemeber, king of Zeboim. Bera, king of Sodom. Bersha, king of Gomorrah. And Bela, king of Zoar. And these 9 kings made war in the valley of Siddim, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah were smitten before the king of Elam. And the valley of Siddim was full of lime pits, and the kings of Elam pursued the kings of Sodom, and the kings of Sodom were with their camps fled and fell into the lime pits, and all that remained went to the mountain for safety. And the 5 kings of Elam came after them and pursued them to the gates of Sodom, and they took all that there was in Sodom. And they plundered all the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And they also took Lot, Abram's brother's son, and his property. And they seized all the goods of the cities of Sodom. And they went away. And Eunuch, Abram's servant, who was in the battle, saw this and told Abram all the kings had done to the cities of Sodom, and that Lot was taken captive by them. And Abram heard this and rose up with about 318 men that were with him. And he that night pursued these kings and smote them, and they all fell before Abram and his men. And there was none remaining but the 4 kings who fled, and they went each his own road. And Abram recovered all the property of Sodom, and he also recovered Lot and his property, his wives and little ones, and all belonging to him, so that Lot lacked nothing. And when he returned from smiting these kings, he and his men passed the valley of Siddim, where the kings had made war together. And Bera, king of Sodom, and the rest of his men were there with him. and went out from the lime pits into which they had fallen to meet Abram and his men. And Adonizedek, Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, the same was Shem, went out with his men to meet Abram and his people with bread and wine, and they remained together in the valley of Melech. Let me mark that. Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem. The same was Shem. And Adonizedek blessed Abram, and Abram gave him a tenth from all that he had brought from the spoils of his enemies. And for Adonizedek was a priest before God. I wonder if that's Melchizedek. Melchizedek. It says the same was Shem. I wonder. And all the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah who were there with their servants approached Abram and begged him to return them their servants whom he had made captive, and to take unto himself all the property. And Abram answered the kings of Sodom, saying, As the Lord liveth, who created heaven and earth, and who redeemed my soul from all affliction, and who delivered me this day from my enemies, and gave them into my hand, I will not take anything belonging to you, that you may not boast tomorrow, saying, Abram became rich from our property that he saved. For the Lord my God, in whom I trust, said unto me, Thou shalt lack nothing, for I will bless thee in all thy works of thy hand. And now, therefore, behold, here is all belonging to you. Take it and go. As the Lord liveth, I will not take from you from a living soul down to a shoe tie or thread, excepting the expense of the food of those who went out with me to battle, as also the portions of the men who went with me, Anar, Ashkal, and Mamre, and they and their men, as well as those also who had remained to watch the baggage. They shall take their portion of the spoil. And the kings of Sodom gave Abram according to all that he had said, and they pressed him to take of whatever he chose, but he would not. And he sent away the kings of Sodom and the remainder of their men, and he gave them orders about Lot, and they went to their respective places. And Lot, his brother's son, he also sent away with his property, and he went with them. And Lot returned to his home, to Sodom. And Abram and his people returned to their home, to the plains of Mamre, which is in Hebron. And at that time, the Lord again appeared to Abram in Hebron, and he said to him, Do not fear. Thy reward is very great before thee. For I will not leave thee until I shall have multiplied thee and blessed thee, and made thy seed like the stars in heaven, which cannot be measured nor numbered. I will give unto thy seed all these lands, that thou seest with thine eyes. To them will I give them for an inheritance forever. Only be strong and do not fear. Walk before me and be perfect. And in the 78th year of the life of Abram, in that year died Reu, the son of Peleg. And all the days of Reu were 239 years, and he died. And Sarai, the daughter of Haran, Abram's wife, was still barren in those days. She did not bear to Abram either son or daughter. And when she saw that she bare no children, she took her handmaid Hagar, whom Pharaoh had given her. Yep, I was right. Hagar was Pharaoh's daughter. she took her handmaid Hagar, whom Pharaoh had given her, and she gave her to Abram, her husband, for a wife. And Sarai said to Abram, behold, here is my handmaid Hagar. Go to her, that she may bring forth upon my knees, that I may also obtain children through her. And at that end of 10 years of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 85th year of Abram's life, Sarai gave Hagar unto him. And Abram hearkened to the voice of his wife Sarai, and he took his handmaid Hagar, and Abram came to her, and she conceived. And when Hagar saw that she had conceived, she rejoiced greatly, and her mistress was despised in her eyes. And she said within herself, this can only be that I am better before God than Sarai, my mistress. For all the days that my mistress has been with my Lord, she did not conceive, but me the Lord has caused in so short time to conceive by him. And when Sarai saw that Hagar had conceived by Abram, Sarai was jealous of her handmaid, and Sarai said within herself, this is surely nothing else but that she must be better than I am. And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. My bad, Abram. I should have never did that. I was wrong. For at the time when thou didst pray before the Lord for children, why didst thou not pray on my account, that the Lord should give me seed from thee? Oh, she flipping it on him. She flipping that shit on him. You didn't pray for me. You prayed for children, but you didn't pray for children with me. You don't love me, Abram. That's how the women be talking. And when I speak to Hagar in thy presence, she despiseth my words, because she has conceived, and thou wilt say nothing to her. May the Lord judge between me and thee for what thou hast done to me. Oh, Lord. Sarai. Come on now, Sarai. The Lord he didn't do that to you. You did that to yourself. And Abram said to Sarai, behold, thy handmaid is in thine hand. Do unto her as it may seem good in thine eyes. And Sarai afflicted her, and Hagar fled from her to the wilderness. And an angel of the Lord found her in the place where she had fled by a well. And he said to her, do not fear, for I will multiply thy seed, for thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael. And now, then return to Sarai thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And Hagar called the place of that well Bir Lahol Roi. Bir Lahol Roi. It is between Kadesh and the wilderness of Bered. And Hagar at that time returned to her master's house. And at the end of days, Hagar bare a son to Abram. And Abram called his name Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old when he begat him. And they'll tell you that's bad these days. 86 years old having a baby. They'd be like, that's too old. Man, you gonna give that baby worms. Chapter 17, last chapter. We're gonna stop on chapter 18. The rape of the Sabines. And in those days, in the 91st year of the life of Abram, the children of Chittim, or Rome, made war with the children of Tubal. And for when the Lord had scattered the sons of men upon the face of the earth, the children of Chittim went and embodied themselves in the plain of Canopia. And they built themselves cities there and dwelt by the river Tibru. And the children of Tubal dwelt in Tuscana, and their boundaries reached to the river Tibru. Let me see if I can find it. We're gonna look at the atlas of the world, man. We're gonna check it out and see what we can see. I'm looking for Rome. Let's look for Rome. Rome is Roman here. Rome, 28, 29, 76, 28, 29, 76. Romania, Bulgaria, Macedonia, Greece, Malta, Italy. It's probably not gonna have no good thing in it. The mighty rivers. Excuse me. It's not up in here. It's probably in one of the other ones. I just don't feel like grabbing it. We'll check another time. Let's finish. And the children of Tubal went and dwelt in Tuscana, and their boundaries reached to the river Tiberu. And the children of Tubal built a city in Tuscana, and they called the name Sabina, after the name of Sabina, son of Tubal, their father. And they dwelt there unto this day. And it was at that time the children of Chittim made war with the children of Tubal. And the children of Tubal were smitten before the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim caused 370 men to fall from the children of Tubal. And at that time, the children of Tubal swore to the children of Chittim, saying, you shall not intermarry amongst us, and no man shall give his daughter to any of the sons of Chittim. For all the daughters of Tubal were in those days fair, for no women were then found in the whole earth so fair as the daughters of Tubal. And all who delighted in the beauty of the women went to the daughters of Tubal and took wives from them. And the sons of men, kings and princes, who greatly delighted in the beauty of women, took wives in those days from the daughters of Tubal. And at the end of the 3 years, after the children of Tubal had sworn to the children of Chittim not to give them their daughters for wives, about 20 men of the children of Chittim went to take some of the daughters of Tubal, but they found none. For the children of Tubal kept their oaths not to intermarry with them, and they would not break their oaths. And in the days of harvest, the children of Tubal went into their fields to get in their harvest, when the young men of Chittim assembled and went to the city of Sabina. And each man took a young woman from the daughters of Tubal, and they came to their cities. And the children of Tubal heard of it, and they went to make war with them, and they could not prevail over them, for the mountain was exceedingly high from them. And when they saw that they could not prevail over them, they returned to their land. And at the revolution of a year, the children of Tubal went and hired about 10,000 men from those cities that were near them. And they went to war with the children of Chittim. And the children of Tubal went to war with the children of Chittim to destroy their land and to distress them. And in this engagement, the children of Tubal prevailed over the children of Chittim. And the children of Chittim, seeing that they were greatly distressed, lifted up the children which they had by the daughters of Tubal upon the wall, which had been built to be before the eyes of the children of Tubal. And the children of Chittim said to them, have you come to make war with your own sons and daughters, and have we not been considered your flesh and bones from that time till now? And when the children of Tubal heard this, they ceased to make war with the children of Chittim, and they went away, and they returned to their cities. And the children of Chittim at that time assembled to build 2 cities by the sea. And they called one Perta and the other Arizah. And Abram, the son of Terah, was then 99 years old. And at that time, the Lord appeared to him, and he said to him, I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will greatly multiply thy seed. And this is the covenant which I make between me and thee, that every male child be circumcised, that thou and thy seed after thee, at 8 days old should it be circumcised. And this covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And now, before thy name shall no more be called Abram, but Abraham, and thy wife shall no more be called Sarai, but Sarah. For I will bless you both, and I will multiply your seed after you, that you shall become a great nation, and the kings shall come forth from you. And that was chapters 15 through 17. We stopped on chapter 18. Chapter 18 is called Circumcision Commences. This is the book of Jasher. That has been the book of Jasher, man. The book of Jasher, chapters 15 through 17, as referenced in Joshua 10 and 13, 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and 2 Timothy 3 and 8. The book of Jasher. Man, it's some good stuff, man. It's some good information in there. Good information. I did not know. It lets you know definitely that Hagar was Pharaoh's daughter. Pharaoh's daughter that he gave up to him as a handmaid. So we're going to give all praises to the Most High God, though, man, for allowing us the ability to read, for allowing us the want to read. We just got to keep pushing. No matter what else happens in your life, sometimes you got to keep pushing. A lot of stuff was happening in Abram's life, his wife's life. They prayed. They tried to do things on their own, but when they prayed and trusted in the Most High God, that's when things went right. So, you know, you can look at, there's always things to take from whatever scripture you read or whatever books you read. But the main thing, once again, is the do's and the don'ts, the cans and the can'ts, you know. The is and the ain'ts, you know, figure those things out, and I think it'll be well with you. I believe it'll be well with whoever does that, because the scriptures show that those who followed the Most High, it was well with them. They were blessed. So keep moving, keep pushing, one day at a time, one book at a time, one paragraph at a time, line upon line, here a little and there a little, till we can seek and find the things that was left behind to help comfort and ease our minds. I know sometimes we wish we could rewind, but you have the chance and opportunity now to make better tomorrow what you couldn't do yesterday. Hopefully, but don't put it off tomorrow. Try to finish and do what you can do today. Once again, let's give gratitude to the Most High God for the scriptures that's being read. Man, go get your book, man. Go get your own book. Read that thing. Read that thing. Ooh. And get your stuff going, big baby. Read your stuff. Figure out what you got to do. Figure it out. But until next time, man, that has been Rising Scripts for today, man. We'll come back next time and see about keep moving through the book of Jasher. We stopped on 18, so we got 18, 19, and 20. That's probably what we read tomorrow. 18, 19, and 20. We're going to read about Abram turning 100 years old in 20. Sodom going to be destroyed. And then we're going to read about Adu. Don't be like Adu. Lot's wife. Lot's wife is Adu. They don't tell you that in the Bible, but in the book of Jasher, Lot's wife is Adu. But once again, the book of Jasher, the ancient book of Jasher, as it says, referenced in Joshua 10 and 13, 2 Samuel 1 and 18, and 2 Timothy 3 and 8. And we are making our way through the scriptures. So hopefully we keep learning shit. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your people, man, Shalom out here reading shit, man. We're trying to do better, be better, man. We trying to grow. Thank you, everybody who helped me to get up to 1,000 subscribers, man. I've been going through some custody issues lately, so I've been kind of down, man. I've been down on it. I've been down on myself. I've been stagnant for a minute. I've not have been taking it well, so I have not been reading, but I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better and keep pushing now. Keep pushing. I have other things that I need to do besides, the custody stuff, but damn, hey, the custody stuff definitely is weighing on me. So we'll keep pushing, man. One day at a time. Shalom, everybody, man. I'm out here. Shalom. I'm out here. You be out here. Do your thing. Succeed, man. Since you got breath to breathe, succeed. Shalom, everybody. Y'all have a good day.